Our elderly. We don't just forget who they are. We forget who they were. Neighbors, co-workers, acquaintances, friends, and relatives. They are people who deserve dignity and respect. We're the beneficiaries of their hard work and efforts.
We're just a busy society. People don't really want to take the time to, it's almost like if you're elderly, well, you're at the end of the road type of thing.
Many societies see their elderly as their most valued members, their most respected. And I don't think that's true for us. I think we are obsessed with youth. And, I think we have a lot to thank the older people for.
Mother's Day and Father's Day, you would think the place would be packed. And no, it's not true. There's very few family come to visit. I think a lot of places, you put your family in a senior's home and you forget about them.
As many people enter their senior years, the level of medical care they need grows. But it's much more than just medical care. A holistic approach is needed that includes therapy, interaction, activities, and spiritual well-being. Founded on the basis of goodwill, spirituality, care, and service, St. Michael's Centre is located on Sussex Avenue just south of Metrotown. Since 1981, the centre has been a place where the elderly and disabled from the Burnaby and Lower Mainland community can come to live with dignity and support. St. Michael's Centre is dedicated to the care and support of 128 extended care residents and 16 hospice patients. The centre offers a home-like atmosphere, encouraging activities, socializing, therapies, and family interaction. Sponsored by the Anglican, Roman Catholic, and United Churches, this nonprofit centre provides the best of therapeutic and supportive care to all residents, regardless of their belief system or cultural background.
I personally believe the facility has a fairly unique atmosphere and a very strong sense of family amongst the staff, the residents, and the families.
I'd rather my parents spent their last days here, where it's family can be with them and you get to know them and it's a warm environment, rather than an extended care ward in a hospital or some of the other care facilities I've seen.
I've worked in several facilities and this is the best place I've worked in. Just for the amount of caring that's involved in the residents here, really committed professionals.
Staying active is an integral part of anyone's lifestyle, and even more so for people who require assistance to perform most daily activities. But activities within any care facility are typically not adequately funded by a health authority and are in need of outside support and donations.
Like our mechanical lifts that staff use for lifting residents out of bed and putting them back in bed. It's breaking down all the time and we don't have that money to replace it.
When I first came here, 2.5 hours was a norm for of care that was required for an extended care person, but now with more complex care, some of these people are taking 4.5, 5 hours of care a day just to meet their needs, and so that has shifted. But what the problem is that the funding hasn't kept up with the acuity level and the amount of service that we're required to provide to the residents.
And without the equipment, we're putting them in standard chairs and we're having to use belts to tie them in, and it's not the answer. They're falling, it's hurting them. They get left in bed more often.
Equipment is vital to anyone living in extended care. Special beds, wheelchairs, bathing facilities, and other equipment are required to assist residents in their daily lives. But equipment breaks down. New and innovative equipment becomes available. Specially trained staff are often required to assist with some activities, and the list goes on. Proper funding is essential to ensure a comfortable life for all residents and patients. St. Michael's Centre Hospice is the first subacute hospice in the Fraser Health Authority. In hospice, we provide patients and their families with active, compassionate care when cure or active treatment is no longer an option. The primary goal of care is to relieve suffering and improve the quality of life and dying with peace and dignity.
My wife was passed away 2.5 years ago, and she was in St. Michael's Hospice, and she was only here about 7.5 days, and in that time I realized what a great place it was. There were very compassionate nurses, the doctor, Father Michael.
When it was first opened, there was a certain number of patients that were anticipated, and what we soon found is that after 1 year we had actually had twice as many come through the doors.
Patients choose to spend their final days at hospice when their care needs are beyond what their families can manage at home and they don't meet the criteria to remain in hospital. Caring for someone who is dying is emotionally and physically demanding. Many people who are actively dying encounter unpleasant experiences such as pain, nausea, fatigue, side effects of cancer treatment, insomnia, decreased appetite, and side effects of the many medications that they have to take. In hospice, a team of specialized healthcare providers and volunteers provide physical care and comfort, complemented by sensitivity to the emotional, psychological, and spiritual needs of the patients and their families.
There comes a time when they need a greater level of care than family can provide. And that's the role then of St. Michael's Centre, to provide that caring, loving, compassionate home, which ends up being their last home, last part of their journey.
The care here was fabulous. Really, I must say, I highly recommend anything they do here. Holy, they had nurses there looking after her continually in that room, off and on, to make sure she wasn't in any pain.
St. Michael's Centre was built on the foundation of genuine and authentic spiritual care. A place where a person is valued and cared for regardless of their religious beliefs or cultural background. A place where families can feel reassured knowing that their loved one is looked after by caring, knowledgeable professionals in a comfortable atmosphere where residents and patients feel at home.
The people are so helpful and so amazing, and it just seems that whatever he needs, there's never a wait. He seems to be looked after right away.
The nurses are wonderful, and the kitchen staff, they're really wonderful, and I can't say enough about it.
Somehow you have that gut feeling when you walk into somewhere and you know that this is nice, this is safe, this is good. And that's the feeling I had when I came here.
Here, people go out of their way to for the residents' sake. They're not working by the book. They're not working to a schedule.
Already, initial hospice patient estimates have doubled, and an increasing number of extended care patients require special needs care. Yet our funding remains at the same levels. We need your help to ensure our residents and patients receive the best care possible. Please, give generously, financially, or become a volunteer at St. Michael's Centre, because it's about dignity. It's about caring. It's about respect. It's about people.
I think they would donate because perhaps in their life they had a parent or a spouse or a child, someone who experienced sickness or death, and so they appreciate how important facilities such as ours are. They appreciate what a hospice really can do.
The thing, as I say, about volunteering for me is I get such a kick out of it, and when I come in and somebody says, "Oh, Betty's here, must be a program on," or "Oh, here comes Betty, what's on today?" You know, they assume that because you're here that something's going to happen.
I think the most important thing is to continue to have a relevant evolution of care that meets the needs of the people that are living here. And who's to say
who's going to be here 2 or 3 or 5 years from now. But we need to make sure that we always keep our care evolving and relevant to the people who reside here.
If you think of your life and you were only provided with shelter and food and a clean bed and, you know, those kind of essentials, and anything else was considered frills, I don't think you would feel like it was a very complete life.
For more information, visit www.stmichaels.bc.ca.